Shri Shri Ras Biharani Ju Ki Jai. Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Day 102 of Vraj Kishori Trust, Seva Trust, reading the 41 letters of Shri Bade Shiksha Patra of Shri Hari Raji. Commencing with verse 11. My ability to suitably apply my mind to the chanting of the 8-syllable prayer of surrender has been compromised by my attachment to worldly chatter far removed from the Lord's stories. People approaching me devotedly, considering me to be very advanced, has destroyed my humility. It is said that even if you cannot do any other devotional practice, then you should still constantly repeat the 8-syllable prayer of surrender, through which everything will be perfected. And Sri Acharyaji has taught in his Navaratna, the 9 Jewels treatise, my concise opinion is that you should constantly repeat the mantra Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. So I should simply do this. However, when there is attachment to worldly talks, how will this repetition happen? I am so wrapped up in worldly affairs that I find it impossible to properly chant this 8-syllable mantra of surrender. To this dilemma, a solution is offered. If you cannot repeat the 8-syllable mantra, then simply surrender to the Lord with all humility, and this will please the Lord. Sri Acharyaji has taught humility satisfies the Lord. However, in this world, lots of people have been praising me, and I have developed an egocentric possessiveness, thinking myself to be great, clever, and righteous, and thus I have no humility. Due to such praise, I have become puffed up and wander around proudly. My humility has disappeared. Now what can I do? Verse 12. How can someone like me, who has been abandoned by the true devotees, come to understand the inner meaning of self-surrender? For those who have not reached detachment, even the concept of dedication is difficult to fathom. Tika 12. It has been stated, you should look deeply into your self-dedication, for it will lead you to perfection. Sri Hari Raji says here, all the great and accomplished devotees of this path of grace have left me, so how will I be able to make such an investigation? It is very important to do this in the company of good devotees. Sri Acharyaji has taught in his Navaratna, the 9 Jewels treatise, contemplate your dedication in the company of my dear devotees, so how can I do it all alone? It could be said here, just simply take the refuge in the Lord. Just simply take refuge in the Lord. Sri Acharyaji has explained the perfection of refuge in his Sri Krishnashri, Refuge in Krishna treatise, so just follow that way. Sri Hari Raji again says, refuge in the Lord can only be perfected when the mind is freed from all mundane and scriptural considerations. My mind is full of such matters. I am not fully detached, so how can I even start to be surrendered? Oh, what to do? Surrender is very difficult. Verse 13. How can I develop unshakable faith in Sri Krishna's lotus feet when my consciousness is so fickle? The foundations of such faith and surrender are wisdom and fortitude, so how will that firm refuge come to me, the king of fools? Tika. Sri Hari Raji berates. My consciousness has become very unsteady due to its involvement in worldly activities and contacts, and therefore I have failed to develop firm refuge at Sri Krishna's feet, lotus feet. Wisdom and perseverance are the way to attain such surrender, but I, the king of fools, have neither one. One should have all three, wisdom, perseverance, and refuge. In his Vivek Dhairya Ashray, Wisdom, Perseverance, and Refuge treatise, Sri Acharyaji has written, you should always protect your wisdom and perseverance and carefully nourish your surrender to the Lord. So when such wisdom and fortitude are carefully kept, then firm shelter can ensue. But I am so ignorant, how can I perfect such qualities? Therefore I have no firm dedication. Verse 14. I have also left the place, the Vraja land, the experience of which leads to loving sentiment for the Lord. Or where can I now find that land of Vraj where the Lord's lotus footprints and their embellishments, the symbol of a flag, thunderbolt, goad and lotus, are found? Now Sri Hari Raji tells us, if nothing else is possible, then contemplate on and emulate the Lord's pastimes in his divine Vraja land, from which may ensue the experience of these in your heart. This divine mood can be felt by seeing the pastimes and their paraphernalia connected to the Vraja land, but I have been removed from that land and I am now in a distant region where that process of experience through simple vision does not occur. Through the expressions of his total lack of means, Sri Hari Raji has reached a state of total humility from which has arisen his mood of painful separation and divine longing and cessation of identification with the material body. His heart overflows with the pastimes of Vraj, but he calls out, oh, where is that land of Vraj, where Sri Krishna plays in this countless ways with his close Vraja devotees? Oh, where is that land of Vraj? Where can you find his footprints all over the place, which display the 9 symbols of the flag, thunderbolt, goad, swastika, lotus, octagon, barley grain, vertical line and pitcher on his right foot, and the 7 symbols of the cow's foot, plum, fish, bow, triangle, half moon, and the sky on his left foot. There are 16 symbols altogether. Oh, where is that land of Raj covered with such symbols? Verse 15. Oh, where is that mountain called Sri Giriraj, also known as Krishna Das, the servant of Sri Krishna, through the close proximity of whom the love of the Pulindi ladies blossomed and was nourished? Where is that land rendered most superior by the presence of Sri Yamunaji river, who distributes the love of the Lord's pastimes to all? Where is that most benevolent mountain, Sri Giriraji, also called Krishna Das, the servant of Krishna, where the love for the Lord first became established in the hearts of the Pulindi ladies, the simple forest dwellers, and through whose association that love developed and grew? That mountain, Sri Giriraj, serves the Lord with every part of his being, brings him comfort in every season, gives pleasure to his cows, and is devotionally inspiring. And where is the Sri Yamunaji river? Where is that land where she flows, fulfilling the spiritual desires of all the gopis? Where is that land taking shelter in which leads to the direct experience of the Lord of Sri Krishna? Verse 16. Where is that sound of the flute that attracted all those Raja devotees? And where are those herds of cows which have been stroked by the Lord's lotus hand? Sri Hari Raji asks, where is that sound of the flute which blesses all moving and non-moving beings with its nectar? And where are those innumerable herds of cows that the Lord has cherished and to which he has given the pleasure of being stroked by his lotus hands? Note to verse 16, there are 3 types of sound produced by the Lord's flute: resonating, kujan, melodious, geet, and calling, rab. It is the latter sound cited here. Verse 17. And where are those trees of the forest of Sri Vrindavan from which oozes sweet nectar, which is both the essence and the source of the Lord's endless pastimes? And where are those birds, the embodiment of enlightened sages, that sit upon the branches of those trees, ever attentively listening out for the sounds of Sri Krishna's flute? Tika 17. In the Sri Vrindavan forest, where Sri Krishna performs endless pastimes together with his devotees, there are many beautiful trees which ooze with nectar when they hear the sound of his flute. Oh, where are those trees? There are also birds which sit upon the arm-like branches of the trees, poised in anticipation of hearing the nectarian lovely sounds of his flute. They renounce their restless bird-like nature and sit as still as great sages. In the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Venu Geet, the song of the flute, the gopis tell Sri Yashodaji, O mother, the birds of the Sri Vrindavan forest are really great sages, who are perched on the arm-like boughs of the trees, rich with attractive foliage, flowers and fruit, but with no desire to eat them, just gazing at Sri Krishna with unblinking eyes, and for whom there exists no other sound worth listening to than the sweet sweet voice of the flute spoken by their Lord. Here Sri Hari Raji is absorbed in this very mood. Note to verse 17. Although the fruits are usually very attractive to birds, here, since they are really great sages, they are, too, wrapped in the sound of the flute to want to eat them. They are too wrapped in the sound of the flute to want to eat them. The sages know that the flute is sounded by Sri Krishna, and that it is Sri Krishna who spoke the Vedas, so the sound of the flute is actually non-different from the sound of the Vedas. Here it is written that they have given up listening to any other sound other than the Lord's glories, which is included in the sound of the flute. Jai Ho. Pausing here until tomorrow, where we will commence with verse 18. Aaj ke Anand ki Jai Ho. Shri Vallabhacharya ji, Shri Gosai ji, Shri Hari Rai ji ki Jai Ho. Sab Vaishnavan ko Sadar Saprem Sadenya Sanand Jai Shri Krishna. Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ji ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.